take the railway that runs to Birmingham town. 3 hours out of Houston, they let you all get down. 11 minutes is allowed, we have to keep up speed, and the Wolverton refreshment room will answer every need.
Okay, dropping back down onto the Windmill. I fixed the motor in. What I did, I just super glued the bottom of the brass gearbox here to the plastic piece using a thick gel one, and applying it with a toothpick just to the plastic, just touching the underside of the metal, so that none of the super glue would got onto the gears. I've then done the same to the back, just along the joint where the brass and the plastic met. I also put a piece of plasticard in there as well and glued that into that section, so that'll stop that spinning, whatever. I also put some extra glue down the side here with it's like a V joint here, just down at the lowest end of the point. I scraped in some thick super glue gel either side. Now that's really stuck the motor down, but what I'm worried about is when this is in the Windmill and I have to keep pushing this on and off for some reason or whatever, don't know, but I might have to, that when I push it back on again, that this motor's going to go and snap off, because it's only held on not by very much area. Now I was going to put some plasticard in here, but I thought no, I won't do that, because that means that it's getting too near the gears. If I have to glue it down, I'll probably have to use super glue, and I don't want to interfere with the gears because they're still free. And I thought, well, how else can I stop it being pushed back? And then I thought, I've got some tubes here I bought for another reason. You get them for about 12. It's about £12 this whole pack. It's 500ml long. You get square, round and solid. You get square tubes, square solid, round and round solid pieces in here, and there's I can't remember, 48 pieces in this pack for 12 quid. Really good value. Only thing about it is it does take like 6 weeks to get here from Beijing. But I took one of the tubes and I thought I got the biggest tube that I could fit between the wires here, and I cut a V section out of it. I've glued it up. I don't like the strength of that joint. I'm going to put some extra plastic on the corners just to make sure that that is nice and strong, and then I'm going to glue this in to the motor section here. It's a bit long this side, but I'll glue that section in so that this piece is right against the motor. I have to put a little hole in here so that the shaft won't be interfered with, but that should stop it being pushed back. I'm using my little machine here, which I think, will I get enough off of this? Let me just check here. Oh yeah, don't have to alter it. This is still enough, it would snap. I just want to put a piece across this section here, just to strengthen it up. I can cut this thing to length after all this is dried completely. Oh, needs a little bit more glue. Now, there's one thing about this, you don't want to put too much of this solvent on this very thin. I think it's a thou plasticard I'm using. Put a piece on either side. The solvent will actually dissolve this, so you don't want to put too much on, just enough to make sure it glues in place. Give it a place. Yeah, I'll trim that off once it's dry. Okay, this is all dried now. I've glued on this piece, this horseshoe shape here. When I cut it out, I found I had to cut the whole thing out, except for the one piece along the top. The shaft that came through wasn't that. It almost touches the top of here. I must have made a mistake in the measurement of it. I've had to put an extra piece of tubing just on the top here to strengthen it up, and just to make sure I put a couple of straps, one either side, just so the motor can't be pushed back as well. So that's all in there. It's all glued up and hard now, so it still works. So I'll be able to push on this and not worry about the motor coming out from the back. I think it's a lot neater than having a load of hot glue stuck on the motor. I've also put some shrink wrap on the cables here. This is the part where it goes through this is the part where it'll go through the floor. I'll put an extra bit of shrink wrap around here in case it rubs and cuts into the wire, so I'll put an extra piece on there as a little bit of protection. So the next job for this is to be popped into here and to be glued in here. And I still can get to the windows either side, so that's fine. So I'll do that. I won't do that on camera, I'll do that off. The veins have been painted up with white. I might put a little bit of a wash over these, I don't know. Have to wait and see. I rather like the bright white on them. The rest of it here is ladder. I decided to do white this time. I was going to do it the same colour, brown, but I decided to do it white, and I've done the white rails to go on the side. I've done the little overhang roof for the door. That's been painted up now. The doors I've done red. All the doors have been done red, so it's rather a dull cherry red rather than a bright red. And of course all the windows have been done white as well. So let's get these put in. These ones first. I've already taken these down so they would fit in here. They've already been sanded off and all that, so I know they fit. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention the paper I put on here I've done with spray mount, permanent spray mount. I've got a can here, so I use that to just put this on. But if you use, if you haven't got that, you can put this on with a good PVA, not watered down, just straight on there. Give a good smear over it, put it down, stick it on, and it will stay on there. But like I said, I use spray mount. Like I've got it in here for my card modelling, so I might as well use it. Right, let's get some glue on this. Oh dear, not getting another cold, blimey. Now I'm putting this in here without any of the clear on it. I'm going to cut a piece of clear and put over the windows later. I'm gluing from the inside as well, so a nudge in there. It's a nice fit. Go over one of the doors. There is actually horseshoes on these doors as well, so I'm not sure about how these will stay in. They're actually quite a tight fit in here, plus a paper, but that's what I mean, the paper. I've got, I'm going to put some glue down the side of the doors. I'm hoping that the door plastic will melt and stick to the paper. If not, I'm going to have to put something over the back. I've just recessed the doors slightly, so that should be alright. Give a little bit of relief on the doors. Well in there now. Make sure you get the horseshoe up the right way. Hello! Little fact, England, we put the horseshoes with like a U shape on the door. That's to hold the luck in. If you're in France or in one of the European countries, they have the horseshoes up the other way, so the luck runs out on people that won't walk in and out the door. Excuse me if I'm out of shot. I'm trying to see what I'm doing here. I can re-blacken that up when this is dry. Okay, there's the doors in. I've still got to cut the opening out. I'm leaving that to last. I wanted to get the doors in to strengthen all this up. Can't put the ladder on yet. All that. I can put these windows in. Actually, it might be best to put the door in as well. I'm going to take this motor out of here for now. And one of these I've still got to cut. There's a little bit of a knobble on this, just at the bottom here. It will stop it going in with the recess. I'm going to cut out and cut it in that way. Let me put it on the deck here. Oh. Glasses. Right. That's to the bottom. It'll be nice, a nice fit. With some glue around the outside edge. Let the capillary action work. Which is nice and easy. Actually, I can get in from the top here as well. It's a good thing about not putting the motor in, or that front panel on. You can get to the top of the windows this way. And again, we can put the clear glazing in afterwards. Yeah, it just needed a little bit of clean up on the windows. They fit very well. There are frames around the outside of the window. I don't know whether to take a very fine brush and just go around the outside framework. Oh, I'll just go around the outside framework here with white. I'll see how it goes. Give it a final push now that the glue's melted the plastic, and this side too. Just pushes it in that bit more so it's not so much recessed. I should have got a little bit of flush on the top of that there. Right. Nope, that way round. That's it. And make sure the door opens the right way round as well. That door is a little bit, it's absolutely perfect size to fit in there. There's no slot, but it just falls through. So, what have I got in here? I've got some bits in here. I'm gonna just cut some small pieces off of here. 4 should do. That bit's already the right size. I'm just going to stick these to the back of the door. Don't have to be neat about this sort of stuff. All it is, it's actually just gives it a sort of ridge to hold in place. Of course I could have just left 2 of these on here, and then I could have opened the door as well. Sort of a hinge on the door. Yeah, get off here. There we go. Right, just check. That's all the way up. That's got to open to the. It's got to open to the staircase piece. Then we drop that in there. Move this out of the way. I'm just gluing those tabs. I'm not gluing anything else. That holds in nicely there. Right, now then, this has a lump on it, and I'm going to leave that until I find the instructions again. I need those 2 off. Just going to break them off. Right. Just got the roof over the door to put on. Make sure I get them on the right way round. I'll fill these holes up here with some glue. And a bead along the top there. Now the awkward bit. Because my light's in the way, I can't see. Oh. Well, don't say it, Alan. Don't say it. Do not say it. you need to go up a bit. Come on. Or you come down a bit. Actually, you come down a bit. Oh, I see, it's got a little ridge. It's actually got a little ridge on the back here where it meets up with the board. There we go. I'll have to touch all this. Is all needs touching up in places, so I'll do that with a brush when this is all dried. That fits in there nicely as well. So there we have the door on, the windows are in. I forgot I bought my crystal clear. I'm cutting my plastic up, I don't need to. These windows are small enough to use it. Oh, actually you can use it on quite a bit bigger windows than these, so Alright, just use this crystal clear on the windows, and oh, that needs a bit more. It will save you using a plastic sheet. Keep that for something else. Actually, I'm surprised. They usually put a little bit of clear glazing in for these kits if they got windows in, but this Windmill didn't have it, so a little bit more in that bottom window there. That's pulled away from the edge. So is that one. Oh, with it. Right, off there. There we go. Right, I'm going to leave that to dry before I do anything more to it. I'm going to do these windows as well. Should work. Now, there we go. Start cutting through this here. Just freehand this. I'm not gonna worry about drilling it out or anything like that. There's several cuts through. Right, I'm gonna finish this off. I'll be back in a minute when I've done it. Knife. Right, I used my knife to cut this out, as you see. My knife kept getting stuck in the plastic as I was cutting through. Really hard. It was pulling the blade off the handle. Then I remembered my old way of doing it, using a flame and just heating a tip of an old blade up here and pushing it through and going round to make the cutout. And then I just had to clean it up, give it a bit of a sand down, and that's done it very quickly. Same with this one here. The hot knife, done that. I made this one, I've done this one at halfway. This one I've done it a little bit longer, so that when it goes in here, hang on, where's the old lever? I actually get from here, I could go all the way round to here with it. So it's getting, what is it getting? It's getting from there, around there, and round to there. That's 360 degrees of turning on this particular item. So I can place this anywhere I like, and I can move this to where it's been seen, or where the rotation of the blades are seen. So I'm going to put this bottom on, and then I'm going to get the top on and the vanes on and show you it working. Right, I've got this built up to this stage. I can should be able to get this to rotate. Yeah, I'm using a 9-volt battery, but it's a dead one. If I can, that's the wrong way round. There you go. Well, that's about the speed it should be going at. So it works quite nicely. I've got it to this stage, and I'll show you that. As you can see, I've done the doors on it. Let's turn this around here. There's the doors that side. I haven't put the steps on. They're going to be put on later when it goes onto the layout. So, and I've got nearly. No, I've got 360 degrees of turn on this as well, with the two. Slots in there. I made one slightly bigger, and that got me the 360 degrees that I needed. So I can place it anywhere and rotate this to where I need it, and I can put the steps up here. So for now, I'm going to call this finished. Quite an interesting little build. I would suggest you using the gearbox, a motor that has the 10 revolutions per minute. This one was the 60. I actually got this for something else. I've got to buy another one, but as they're only like £2.50, it's not a lot. I'll go out and buy a couple of them. But that is working nicely. So that's the Airfix / Dapol Windmill. So until next time, keep up the modelling. From me and Carla, see you all soon. Bye for now.
Take the railway that runs to Birmingham town. 3 hours out of Euston, they let you all get down. 11 minutes is allowed, we have to keep up speed, and the Wolverton refreshment room will answer every need.